You're listening to Heroes in the Moment. What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
And today, it's a week in a flash.
Man, let's get it.
Let's get
We're
it.
switching up a little bit.
We are.
I will be reading the news here. And we'll just get right into it.
I'm super excited.
This came out literally right after we stopped recording last week.
It always happens
on
like
Sunday.
that.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like the world's against us, but Michael, we're fighters.
We are.
Kevin Feige says that Jake Schreiber, who directed the Thunderbolts, is officially signed on to direct X-Men.
I think
Thoughts
we
on
did.
that?
Did we talk about that a little bit?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
It was right after.
I think that's really awesome. I really liked what he did with Thunderbolts, and I think having him come in with the X-Men is a good detail. I think he'll do a good job with those characters. I absolutely agree with that. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think he handled the team aspect really well. I think he kind of proved it, even though the film, didn't make back its budget, which
is fortunate.
I feel like it's a shame.
It is.
Or some people that I'm not gonna go see this movie because it's not doing well. Like, since when is it, how much it makes determine what kind of movie it is?
And everybody really liked Thunderbolts, so it's really surprising. I guess everybody was like, went and saw Captain America: Brave New World and was like, oh my goodness, I'm never going to see a Marvel movie again. Which you can blame them, but anyhow,
yeah. Remind me, this sounds familiar, but Eric Pearson, who wrote the Fantastic Four, First Steps, and Thunderbolts, is signed on to write the Blade script.
Really, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay,
apparently just signed on a couple of days ago.
So he wrote Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. I could, we'll see. Blade's went through a lot, so we'll see how it goes with that. And I don't think the writing was bad in Fantastic Four whatsoever. Check out our Fantastic Four podcast movie review. Just came out recently last Tuesday. Check that out. But I think, the writing was good with both those things. So I think hopefully, Blade's gone through so much in development. They should just give it to us.
He's 51. Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
We'll see. I'm hopeful for it.
It sucks.
Yep. And it kind of goes back to that Deadpool Wolverine quote Wesley Snipes said saying, "I'm the one and only Blade." That's probably true.
It's looking like it's very true.
It's looking like it could be true.
Unfortunately. And then this next topic is something, Michael, that we've talked about, for a while.
Yeah.
And it's gone back and forth, but Kevin Feige officially confirms that Spider-Man Brand New Day will be a street-level story.
Okay. So he confirmed it. So
he finally confirmed it, which is good, because at first it was a multiverse, and then the fans were like, no. They switched it. They're like, we don't really know, but now it's confirmed by Feige.
I know. And, we don't need two Spider-Man multiversal movies in a row, right? Spider-Man No Way Home did a great job. Probably, honestly, the best job of the multiverse MCU's done. But we don't need another one. We wanted a Spider-Man ground level story, especially since the ending of No Way Home with him in his new suit. Everybody's forgot who he is. He's kind of building his name again. I think a ground level story is what we want for Spider-Man, what we need for Spider-Man.
Yep.
At this point, of course, the multiversal plot elements is in the Spider-Verse trilogy. It's all about the multiverse, and they do a really good job there. So we've had plenty of Spider-Man involved with the multiverse. So I feel like a grounded street level scenario, kind of like Homecoming was, would be cool. So I'm excited for it.
I'm with you. All right, speaking about Blade, Kevin Feige has said that there's been 4 different versions of Blade.
Of course.
And that they didn't like any of them.
Now that sucks.
Yeah. However, they said they finally decided on a take set in the modern day. So from the rumors I'm hearing, apparently some of these versions they didn't enjoy, because it was just leather jackets and killing vampires, which I've seen a lot of people are like, okay, isn't that the point of Blade?
I know, isn't that what we want?
But apparently they're trying to make it a little more complicated than the character is.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know, honestly. This movie has, I really hope Kit Harington's here. That's kind of the one thing I'm kind of hoping for, because they teased him so heavily at the end of Eternals, and I hope they don't just throw the end credit away.
Yeah.
I really hope not. But yeah, I mean, the whole point again, Blade is leather jacket killing vampires. I thought that would that would be cool. But I just really don't know. I feel like Marvel lately, and this has not been so much Kevin Feige, it's been so much the execs, overdoing things because he's, had so much more responsibility. He hadn't been able to kind of sit down and plan out a lot of stuff. He kind of gives a lot of control, but I think this is a lot of Marvel's issue lately has just been, they want to crank out stuff. They're not really caring as much about storytelling as much as they are making a few bucks. So I'm just really disheartened by it. You know, Marvel lately, last few years, has butchered so many beloved characters, and I don't want Blade to get that same treatment just to get it out there. You know, I think I'd rather them cancel the movie entirely than to release a pile of dog water. You know,
yeah. So, I'm with you, man. I'm with 100%.
Who knows?
Kevin Feige also says that Avengers: Secret Wars will reset the timelines and reboot the MCU.
I've heard that. There is a part of me that likes it, and there's a part of me that doesn't. There's this part of me that is like, okay, we've heard for a long time that Secret Wars is going to serve as a soft reboot, but I'm at the point of like, if you're going to reboot everything and just kind of start over with the new Iron Man, new Captain America, and all these people, they're going to be constantly compared to what was, and they're never going to live up to the original takes. And well, they could, but I doubt it. And they're not. I mean, they're just probably not going to. And if they do this kind of soft reboot, I think it could be beneficial, but they should pull their focus from the characters we've already seen done and put it on other characters like X-Men or Fantastic Four.
Okay.
I think would be better, but at the same time, we kind of would like to see the Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four all together for the first time because we've not gotten that. And Doomsday is supposed to kind of serve as that, but I don't know. There's a lot of parts of me. The MCU could go on forever, and I feel like I don't know if it should, and I don't know how would be the best way of going about it. I don't know.
Exactly. Like, how are you going to stop, a brand that's worth that much money?
Right.
At some point, you just kind of got to redo things you've already done in just a different way.
Yeah. And when I was putting Fantastic Four into, like, because after every time I see a Marvel movie, I put it back and I put it where my ranking it would be within all the other Marvel movies. And I was looking, and Marvel is already almost to 40 movies. That's just MCU. 40 in the MCU. I think it's at 37 currently. I think Endgame was like the 23rd. So, I mean, it's wild that it's already almost to 40 movies. And I just kind of feel like if you're going to look into the future and it's going to be in the 100 Marvel movie MCU in the same universe, it's going to be like, dude, how is somebody who's like born now going to go back and watch all of them, to be prepared? Like,
that's a good point. Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder how long there'll be a money printing machine.
Right.
And all this comes from an interview with Kevin Feige, but kind of going back to your point earlier, Kevin Feige indicates that iconic characters like Tony Stark and Steve Rogers will eventually be recast in the MCU. Now you gotta think, it's already give it 2, 3, 4 more years. It'll be 20 years since we've seen some of these castings.
Yeah.
Do you think 20 years is too soon to recast?
I think it's too soon to the fact that 2019 was the last year we saw them on screen. Because I guess, because Wolverine, they've already talked of recasting in the X-Men and stuff, and that's because of the reboot and the change of bringing the MCU, so it makes sense. But when it comes to like Iron Man and Chris Evans, that was 2019. That was 6 years ago. I mean, recasting these characters after 6 years of being, gone is kind of, it feels weird, and it just feels not necessary. 20 years from now, I could see it. But yeah, it'll be 20 years since they were originally cast and put into it, which is wild to me to even think about it. I mean, kids born in 2008 are now going to be like 18 years old this year.
Wow.
Or, 17 or 18. And it's wild, but I feel like 6 years and add a couple more and make it like 10 years is still feels like it's too early. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm with you there. Like I said, it's been a while since we've seen these characters. Going back to your point about the future, it's like, what are they going to do? Are they going to continue to pump out 2, 3 movies a year until the end of the earth? Are they going to have to make a different, like, Marvel Cinematic Universe and restart there? I think eventually, we're going to see things, recast. Eventually people are going to want to see an Iron Man, right? They're going to want to see Captain America,
Or eventually they're not going to want to see it anymore at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that all depends on the vision and the writing. Yeah. Like we said, this whole Secret Wars could have been another 10, 12-year plan, 15-year plan.
Yeah.
Of just throwing in all these other characters too.
And we have to also put into perspective, superhero fatigue is real. And it's been so prevalent the last couple of years. And I think there's a lot of pull right now and a lot of push for it coming back with DC and the changes it's making
Yeah.
and kind of bringing it back. But that superhero fatigue, I don't know if they're still putting out 3 to 5 movies a year for Marvel and DC alike. I mean, how is that? And it's already affected Hollywood in such a way, to where most people are just going to theaters to see superhero movies.
I
And that's
know.
it.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, I sound like I'm a person that's like, oh, superhero movies at the end. No, I mean, if anybody knows me, I love superhero movies. I love superheroes, but I'm also don't want them to release these characters I love and ruin them just for the money.
Exactly.
I want them to take their time. I want them to be actually well written, good stories, original stories. But for them just to say, oh, for another 100 years, we're going to put them out all the time, it just doesn't seem justifiable, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm with you. And obviously, it's not our problem, but it's still fun to think about.
Yeah.
This piece of news is a little concerning, but, nothing we haven't talked about before. Rebecca Romijn, who plays
Mystique.
Mystique, right, in the original X-Men movies.
Mm-hmm.
She says that she is not sure if she has finished filming her scenes for Avengers Doomsday. And this is the quote. She says, quote, "Not sure. They haven't finished writing the script," end quote. So everything we're hearing about Doomsday is that they're actively filming it. They're actively, in production. And they don't have a finished script.
I'm hoping she is referring to rewrites. I'm hoping that's what she's referring to, is like they haven't finished writing, doing rewrites. But you should never, and we've said this, last time, you should never put out a movie, start producing a movie, start filming a movie until it is written. I mean,
exactly.
That is one huge thing, and that's why Batman's took so long. Batman Part 2's took so long, is because they waited till the script was written and done before, starting production on it. And that's what you should do. I mean, the Batman Part 2's only problem was, telling us too soon about the release dates. They should have just waited. But a movie should never be greenlit until a script is there. And James Gunn said that he's never going to greenlight a movie until he has a script.
Good for him.
Which is good for him as well. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm hoping she's referring to rewrites, because I did watch that interview, and a lot of it was more so like a joking, and a lot of it was more so like I can't say a lot. It was more what it was.
Yeah, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they hadn't truly finished the script.
I wouldn't either.
Given with how quickly they've pushed this timeline for these films.
Right. I mean, you think of it was 10 years of world building before it was executed, and they've shortened the time a lot because everybody's like, oh, we were ready for the next big Avengers movie.
Yeah.
What they should have done is had intermediate Avengers movie like they did last time with Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron, and had them being like build-ups.
Yeah, what's wrong with just having a regular Avengers movie?
We haven't had that in a while. Instead of them being huge, big old
Why does it
events.
have to be a huge thing?
Right.
Yeah, like
it
we just watched Fantastic Four. It's like there's no huge.
Like they could have done
build-up.
easily like an Avenger, like Secret Invasion could have been an Avengers movie and made better, right?
That would have been sick. Yeah.
Like Avengers Secret Invasion. That would have been a great intermediate storytelling, especially with this universe where everything's disconnected. You could bring it up and write it to where a lot of the reason that disconnect is so many people are Skrulls. I mean, I don't know. It's just they don't have to have Avengers movies that are big, huge theatrical blockbusters. They could just be intermediate things like Age of Ultron was, So I don't know.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And like I said, I think we need more of that.
Yeah.
Because it really lowers the expectations. I think it gives the writers more time to do their jobs well.
Right. Absolutely.
Staying on Marvel here, Kevin Feige believes that Chris Hemsworth will continue playing Thor after the MCU reboots. How do we feel about this?
I mean, the problem is if they're recasting Iron Man, Captain America, why would they keep the same Thor?
Bro, I think Thor has to hang it up after Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
Or after his solo film.
I don't think he should or should have to if he doesn't want to. But if they're going to reboot Iron Man and Captain America, they shouldn't keep the same Thor. Yeah. That wouldn't make sense. Even though Chris Hemsworth's a lot younger and he could do this for a long, long time, and he's a great Thor, I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, like I said, I just feel like your OGs can't stick around too long. Like a lot of the OGs dipped in 2019, and you're telling me he's still going to be in the universe 10 years after.
Yeah,
I know. I don't love it. I believe this is the last piece of Marvel news, and this one really cracked me up. I saw it today, and it says this: Marvel posts $10,000 reward for whoever writes the best reason all those Kangs died.
Huh?
Apparently, Marvel is desperate to find a explanation for all the Kangs that showed up at the end of what was it, Quantumania,
Yeah.
in that huge arena. So obviously, with Jonathan Majors no longer being part of the franchise.
I thought that the clear answer though was going to be Doom killed them. I thought that was going to be like what it was going to be. It's like Doom is the one that eradicated it. The Council of Kangs.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Obviously, nothing's in place, but apparently, Marvel is like dangling some money out there for.
I've not heard that. I don't know how official that is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's not from official source either, but also at
Okay.
the same time,
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
I mean, that is something I wouldn't be surprised necessarily either. Huh.
This next piece of news, and we're moving over to DC, I feel like is pretty huge. And this is from Zach Kreger. And if y'all don't know who Zach Kreger is, he's a horror director. He kind of most recently directed Barbarian, which was a fine film. But anyway, he is directing a Joker and a Harley Quinn movie.
Really?
Yes, he's directing. Don't ask me what universe, because I'm not completely sure yet. It might be Elseworlds.
Yeah, it might be an
But Zach
Elseworlds
Kreger's doing a Joker and a Harley movie,
Hmm.
which takes place in Gotham. It's going to be horror centric, and the director Zach is saying it's going to be is his favorite thing he's ever written.
Huh.
So apparently it's just going to be about their relationship, horror centric, Joker, Harley in Gotham.
Interesting. I don't know.
Which I think is a very interesting take.
I think it is an interesting take. It'd be kind of cool to see, because we only got that in Suicide Squad, Ayer's Suicide Squad way back when, and it was terrible. But I did like the Harley Quinn. Of course, Margot Robbie was an amazing Harley Quinn. So an interesting new take would also be good. And I think Lady Gaga was an underrated Harley Quinn.
I do too.
So we'll see.
I did too, man.
We'll see who could be the next to step up.
Continuing with DC, Clayface movie was planned for the Batman universe, but got moved to the DCU.
See, this is also, I thought about this. I thought about like, okay, this is kind of interesting that they're having Clayface in the DCU, because I think it would be more interesting potentially and more compelling in the Batman universe.
But you gotta think about gods and monsters, too.
Right, and that may have been a lot of the pull. And a lot of it is potentially Matt Reeves may have not wanted to use Clayface because of how fantastical he is. Because I know in the original, at least rumored scripts for the Batman Part 2, Clayface was going to be involved in some aspect or way.
Yep.
So maybe Matt Reeves decided he was too fantastical of a character, and James Gunn was like, well, I still want to do it because it sounds like a good script, and is doing it in the DCU. We know Clayface shows up in Creature Commandos, so I don't know. That is interesting because we did talk about the rumor that the Batman universe, Matt Reeves they were going to do a Mr. Pig, Professor Pig kind of thing. They were going to do a Scarecrow kind of show or something. Potentially an Arkham show.
Professor Pig would be so cool.
Right, it would be really cool to see. So I don't know.
Speaking on Clayface, we've officially got a plot synopsis.
Okay.
And this is it. The Clayface movie will follow an actor played by Tom Rhys-Harris, whose face gets disfigured by a gangster. As a last resort, the actor turns to a fringe scientist for help. The experiment is successful at first, but things quickly turn horrific. So
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I mean, that sounds like Clayface is
losing his job, turns to a questionable scientist, thinks everything's okay, and then bam.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that sounds like it could be definitely good. It's just weird. It's timing.
Exactly. I think it has a lot of potential. This next piece is about Booster Gold.
Okay.
The DCU's Booster Gold television show for James Gunn DCU is officially green-lighted at HBO Max.
Yeah.
So
yep.
I'm hearing a lot of rumors saying that they're looking at casting an actual influencer for the role of Booster Gold to kind of play into it.
To play into like his role and what he is. I think that could be a potential. So many people has also fan casted Chris Pratt, which could also be seen. But an influencer kind of fitting that. I mean, I don't know, but it'd probably get a lot of hate just because.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think so too, man. And then the last piece of DC news is this. Apparently, Gorilla Grodd will be making his debut in the new DCU Jimmy Olsen television show.
Huh.
So apparently they're going to use this Jimmy Olsen show to introduce a lot of those kind of villains, with him just working his regular job at the office.
That feels kind of strange,
and,
though.
and writing reports on these.
So, like,
kind of
is he gonna
villains.
visit Central City, or is he gonna like, is it gonna have to do with like a Flash thing? That's
I don't
interesting.
know. I don't know.
Okay, I still don't understand that show or series, but we'll see.
I don't either, but I see
It's not. I don't think it's officially been greenlit, but
It's gonna be him raising up like
every
women.
female in existence.
Yeah, exactly. And then doing journalism about popular villains.
Honestly,
guess.
that might be fire though.
I think it would.
It could
bro.
be fire.
I think it
Okay.
would. But yeah, man, that's all the news that I had there. So,
All right, cool.
hopefully that's enough to keep us full till next week. All right, guys, thank y'all so much for listening to this episode. And as always, if you enjoyed it, please let us know by giving us a download and a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast. If you guys want early access to all of our episodes and exclusive access to fun episodes and additional movie reviews, feel free to subscribe to our membership Heroes HQ. We have a feature on our episodes where you can send us a text message by following the link at the bottom of our episodes. Just shoot us a message on there, and we will reply to it on our weekly episodes. Then finally, feel free to also check out our YouTube channel and our Instagram at Heroes in the Moment.
And we just want to thank y'all for listening. And as always, we love you 2000.